for watching We Don't Know What We're Talking About News. Today, we don't know what we're talking about when it comes to the war between Russia and Ukraine. And to make sure you don't know what you're talking about either, I have two experts here to explain the history behind the conflict. The first question for the two of you is, whose fault is this? The USA clearly pushed Putin to do this. Putin just doesn't want an alliance of hostile countries right on his border with a massive weapons buildup. Ukraine was clearly not joining NATO. Putin is using this because of a weak American president and to fulfill his megalomaniac conquest, which he has had ideas about for decades. Megalomania, there is no greater megalomaniac than the US CIA. Just because you don't like something does not mean it is a CIA talking point. Then explain the coup in 2014. It was a revolution. Putin may be a throat-slitting mother, but he is making cogent arguments. He is a beta male flexing because he is insecure about his manhood. And speaking about manhood, have you seen Zelensky in that flak jacket? Yeah, that's an old photo, like so many of the other fake propaganda pieces. Even more to my point, the guy doesn't age. Putin's tougher. Zelensky is better looking. Speaking of drinking on live television, Putin could clearly drink Zelensky under the table. Well, I'm still dumping my vodka in support of Ukraine. That's Tito's vodka. It's made in Austin, Texas. What does that have to do with Russia? Gay frogs. Your hero, Alex Jones, records InfoWars in Austin, Texas. Alex Jones is 100. This is clearly all about globalism. He's been right for years. And speaking of gay frogs, when did you ever care about them before? What about gay frogs in Syria? What about gay frogs in Yemen? Alex Jones is a Russian asset. Hunter Biden is a Ukraine asset. Trump did this. Nazis did this. Trump is a Nazi. We know Biden provoked this all because of midterm elections. That is so dumb. Like anyone goes to war over an election. Whatever you think about Putin, you have to admit something is off with that guy, all right? I have seen him for years at press conferences as an aide for the State Department, and there's just something off about him. You could just see it in his eyes. And what about Biden's mental state? He probably thinks we're about to go to war in Vietnam, and he literally just said, who would have thought that Putin was going to invade Russia?
How do we get to the place where, Putin decides he's going to just invade Russia?
Putin is a member of the World Economic Forum. I thought you all hated them. I'm going to dump my $20 per gallon gasoline in support of Russia. Well, that's kind of dumb. Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, Hillary Clinton, George Soros, biolabs. Okay, COVID. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop you right there because bloodshed and war, totally fine to talk about. COVID unfortunately violates our community guidelines. But before we wrap it, let's go outside and check on the man on the street. The first person that we find willing to do an interview, we'll ask them what they think about Ukraine and Russia, and we'll act like it represents everybody.
Mama, Dad.
And after that segment, I need my mama and dad too. Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, thanks for watching We Don't Know What We're Talking About News. We hope you know less about this topic than when you first started watching this video. And don't forget, we may be the most inaccurate name in news, but at least we're honest. We don't know what we're talking about. See you next time.